Mm-hmm. Yes, that's my hand. La, la, la. La, 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 la. If you guys seen this, how I got this set up, it would crack you up. It would. It'd be very funny. Share in a group. Let's go sports talk, shall we? Sports talk 2.0. All right, should be there. I think we're there, man. I think we're set.
We're in there, cuz.
And now you're bringing out the Dallas Cowboy mug, which I didn't see yesterday, but I did like the one you had yesterday, man.
It's Cowboy mug too. The sticker was on the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Well, kids, we are live now, and I don't know how many people have been watching. Pin this to the top. I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff today, Rob. A lot of stuff. Let me see if that's up here. All right, markets and announcement. We're set. Yeah. Probably the only 8 we'll get watching because everybody's so angry. Why is everybody so angry?
I don't know. Why is everybody so angry?
Everybody just wants to argue. No.
Did I miss something today?
Dude, you always miss something. You go. Hey, it's like going into the freaking huge abyss when you're between Monday. Well, I take that back. Usually it's Tuesday that you'll get into the huge abyss. Tuesday through Friday, Saturday for the NFL folks, because of it's just what it is. But there's some guys arguing some of the silliest stuff. Who's an elite program? Who's not an elite program? I'll save that for Jason because that's Jason's area for college football and Bill. All right, but that's not us.
JV, cuz.
That's
JV
not
football.
Us. That's right. That's not
big boy
us.
football. We talk big boy football.
First off, everybody, welcome to Monday Mashup. I am Kash. On the other side of me is the mighty, retired with the Air Force hat, Robert Elvis McLean. I do like that cap, by the way.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of things going on as I monitor what we have. Let's see. First off, here's what we got. The topics for today. We're going to look at the trade deadline. We're going to go over some names. Who needs what? J.J. Watt, we're going to talk a little bit about him. We do this every year around this time. His annual season-ending injury. And
well, you know what? I've heard it mentioned several times today. If they just hadn't give away Jadeveon Clowney,
well.
I mean, I know one guy in the room that's probably not going to be that upset about it. But
he did make a lot off of one hit, but that was one hell of a hit.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Well, and he's
you're even using these lines now.
He's serviceable. I'll put it to you that way. He's serviceable. Yeah, that's a fair thing to say.
Well,
and also we're looking at the greatest quarterback argument, the good, the bad, the ugly, and we look at you got to break it down and make sure that these guys understand what classifies where. And the quarterback, you'll see. You'll actually agree with it. And
I must have missed that because I was asked earlier if we were having if I just woke up and the abyss was started all over. That's why we're arguing quarterbacks again.
Well, you'll see how it means. You'll see where I'm going with it. It also ties into something else that we'll be talking about later. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the Monday Nighter, which you might need to drink heavily for the Monday Nighters, the Dolphins and the Steelers. We do talk a little bit about the Dolphins and the trade deadline thing. But first
Go Fins! Go Fins!
Did you see? Here's the things you missed in the group. Somebody tweeted today that the Dolphins traded the guy who paints the lines.
Yeah, I did see that.
That one was pretty good.
I did see that.
And I'll tell you what, fellas, folks, kids, all that, if you guys want, by all means, Make sure you hype up with whatever you want to talk about. We will listen to you. And if it's good enough, we will bring it up and talk about it. First off, trade deadline. Let me give you some of the deals that have happened recently. When I say recently, we'll go last couple of weeks. We know about Michael Bennett going to the Cowboys. It doesn't hurt for a 7th rounder. Doesn't hurt.
Dude, we got him for a 12-pack and a carton of menthols.
There you go. You can't. Why is he got to be menthols? Okay,
because it's
Mohamed Sanu went to the Pats. Emmanuel Sanders went to the 49ers and played a lot yesterday. Kenyon Drake dealt today from the Dolphins to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, even though they're 3-4, beefing up their backfield, which has been pretty banged up. Leonard Williams switches New York teams from the Jets to the Giants. Gary and Conley, we knew that last week. Go ahead.
That guy Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was the 3rd pick in the draft from USC. I bet you I ain't ever heard Paul Sully say a bad word about him either. Wonder why that is.
Leonard Williams to the Giants. Gary and Conley from the Texans, so John Gruden can play some younger players, even though Conley's 24.
Dude, Conley he's not even able to drink, is he? What is he, like?
He's 24, man, yeah. Eventually they'll raise the drinking age to 25, but you can vote at 15. But that's –
right.
Jalen Ramsey, we knew going to the Rams. In fact, the Rams are looking to deal they're probably either going to release Aqib Talib or they're trying to trade him. Jannard Avery goes to the Eagles. And then those are some of the things that are happening. Now, one team that is primed, they can sell off some of their older players and get some good draft picks back are the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me throw some names at you. Cordy Glenn, offensive tackle. He's serviceable.
A.J.
Green, Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlap. And I know the Patriots are looking for a tight end, and Tyler Eifert's not that bad.
Only problem is he just can't stay healthy.
No, well, he's better than what they have with Ben Watson. Even though Ben Watson, great career, 38 years old.
He's like Frank Gore. He just won't die.
Frank Gore's on his way. He might get another 1,000-yard season at the age of 36.
Probably will.
Every middle-aged man should love Frank Gore. But the 49ers traded him because he was too old. Jeez. But here's the thing. We just talked about it. The Pats need a tight end. Another one who's on the block is what's up, Kevin Baskins? Another one who's on the block is O.J. Howard from Tampa Bay. That would be a good
Dud.
That's who the Patriots would probably wind up with.
Right.
That's because that's how they are. They're the frickin' Patriots. Patriots get that shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do not let Jamal Adams come to the Cowboys either, boys. I'm just telling you now.
I don't think the Jets, that would be stupid.
They just want a first-round pick for him. If that's all they want, we can do that.
Oh, God. Well, where would the Cowboys be picking? 23rd?
In the mid-20s?
Somewhere around there.
Mid to lower 20s, maybe, motherfucker. You don't know.
But unlike once upon a time, you had the trade deadline in the NFL, and it was a soft line. No one didn't make any. One of the big trades they had on the NFL trade deadline was Carson Palmer went from Cincinnati to Oakland.
Yeah.
See, that's rare for a quarterback because he doesn't know the system, he doesn't know the receivers, but a wide receiver works. Look at what happened with Dallas last year.
Mm-hmm.
That worked out for them. Well worth the late first rounder they got for him.
Yeah, better than anything we'd have drafted, probably.
If the Jets give up Adams, the Jets may as well just fold up shop.
Well, and I don't think they will give Adams. I've read that they really have him a part of what they're going to do in their future. Patrick Peterson is possible, along with pass rusher
from where?
From Atlanta, Beasley.
Oh, Beasley, yeah.
Big Beasley. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, it's we'll see. I mean,
Well, how long is Adams is what? His first or second year?
Adams. Jamal?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's probably in his second or third.
Yeah. So
I know he's a monster, though. We need a safety. And they've talked about getting some. I don't know. But, I mean, that could be going out and get Eric Berry, which I wouldn't have a problem with either, because unless he's hurt.
Well, Barry's what, 33, 34?
Well, Barry never was able to. He was able to recover that one year he came back after cancer,
Oh, cancer. Oh.
and then he just never was able to maintain that. And I give the man all the props in the world, but cancer is what cancer is.
Did they? Hey, Mike Dodge? Did the Patriots cut Ben Watson, or did they bring him back? I thought they cut him and brought him back. Cut him, brought him back. All right, let's cut him again. Bring him back. Anyway, that's the trade deadline. There's going to be some movement tomorrow for some of these teams are looking for wide receivers. A lot of teams are looking for wide receivers right now. So,
got to give the 49ers props that Emmanuel Sanders played immediate dividends yesterday.
And well, the 49ers, their wide receiving core is a bunch of 3s and 4s. They can run the football, but 3s and 4s. That's it. But that's the trade deadline. It is tomorrow, noon. So we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, watch Sports Talk. We will post all the trades that pop. In fact, we'll probably post the same trade 15 times in the group.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way to control that. I would like to tell Marcus and the rest of them to just let me do what I do, but they need to have something to get through the day. So.
Here's the thing. If it's a repost, we try to get it. I mean, especially when you get one story, everybody feels like they broke the story. Like, I got it. The motherfucker's been posted 15 times. So that is it. The trade deadline is tomorrow. Kids, be ready for it. Story number 2. The annual J.J. Watt being injured. You shut your dirty whore mouth, Bill. Ben is a Christian and much younger than us. Okay, all right. Okay. I like reading the freaking comments. That's the funny stuff. J.J. Watt, he's been injured. Now, this is the 3rd time in 4 years he's had to miss the rest of the season. And actually, this hurts because the Texans are in a good position right now.
Something just popped across here. The Patriots and Ravens contest is postponed.
For what?
I don't know. I couldn't see it all because I was talking to your ass. But anyway, we'll look later. More to come.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If somebody has the story, post it so we can read it out.
Right.
J.J. Watt, 3rd season. This is his 3rd season ender in 4 years. This year it's going to be his torn pectoral. He played the entire season last year. Broken tibia in 2017. Vertebrae issue.
Right.
He had a vertebrae issue he came back from in 2016. And a bunch of other injuries as well. As I'm looking at the thing, yes, the Skins are now looking
It's okay, Marcus.
The Skins are looking at selling Norman Williams, Peterson, Davis, Kerrigan. I don't see. Actually, Tadlock. Jimmy. I don't think they have anything to lose. I really don't. But back to J.J. Watt and what that means for the Texans.
Absolutely nothing.
And I agree with that.
They're going to have to outscore people. They're going to have to outscore people anyway. I mean,
who
even
would
JJ
work right now? Clowney would work right now.
He would, but they already traded him. And despite what somebody might say, he did his best work while JJ was out. So
Hey, well, another difference though with the Texans is that team is Deshaun Watson's.
And that kid is amazing, dude. He got kicked in the face yesterday and still was able to win.
He was out there playing with one eye. And here's the thing: with that game, the Raiders had more than an ample opportunity to come back and win that game.
Conspiracy, I'm sure.
What the?
Absolute conspiracy, I'm sure.
Okay, all right. It was a conspiracy. All right, but this is, again, an annual thing with J.J. Watt. The question I have for you is, does he hang it up at the end of the year? He's obviously he's lost, but he hasn't been the same since his back.
Well, it's hard. I mean, if you look at the man and you look at him in college, he has put on a ton of muscle. He's bigger than his body's able to maintain.
I like JJ. And here's the thing: he's a good dude.
Oh, love him, man. Great dude.
You hate to see this. It's like even if you don't like the Texans, it's like Gronkowski. Hate the Patriots, right? But everybody loves Gronk.
How can you not love Gronk?
Right,
How can you not love Gronk?
He still has that Rivers thing to clean up to fall back on. Okay, Bill. God, Bill's always with the zingers. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he comes back from this. This is got a torn pectoral, back, a tib. Well, the tibia you can come back from. He's also broken his elbow, or he's dislocated his elbow before. He's broken finger. It just adds up. It freaking adds up. So that is story number 2, J.J. Watt's annual season ender. Now, the third subject today, and we're gonna put this to rest because you guys will bring this up every fucking year. And when this old dudes try to tell you a few things, no, football started in the year 2000. Is that yeah? No kidding. All right. If you're gonna have the greatest quarterback argument, all right, okay, you have to look at perspective of where the game was at. For an example, right now, who's the greatest quarterback right now? The greatest.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'll ask you.
Greatest quarterback of all time.
Well, go right now.
In my opinion.
Who's the best
Or
one
right now? Right now? Well, I mean, right now playing.
Just out of all the quarterbacks on there, who's the quarterback?
Right now, Aaron Rodgers. Right now.
Okay. Oh, you can go Aaron Rodgers. Okay, go Brady. We'll say Brady.
Yeah, well, I mean, the GOAT is Brady. But here's the thing, not to get you off point real quick. The guy that's playing the best right now is Rodgers.
That freaking pass he threw last night.
The guy playing the best right now is Rodgers. The GOAT currently, as the generation believes it to be, is Tom Brady.
All right. Okay. So now you got Tom Brady, which I would agree with. All right.
Right.
Whose jersey was he wearing when he was a kid?
Oh, my God.
No. You'll see where I'm going with this. You'll see
Joe Montana.
All right. Go back about 25, 30 years. Whose jersey was Joe Montana wearing?
Joe Namath. Hell, I don't know.
No, it was Johnny Unitas. Why do you think he took
Johnny
number 19? All right.
Johnny
Unitas is the alpha and the omega. You guys can sit there and say whatever you want, but he's the one who put the NFL on the map.
As far as quarterbacks go, yes.
Quarterbacks go, it's even though you'll hear some of these old guys say
Slinging Sammy Ball
or Otto Graham or Sid Luckman. All right, but the alpha and the omega is Johnny.
It's Johnny U, no doubt.
Oh my God! I wore an Army shirt when I was 12. Dodge, will you shit? I'm going to speak for everybody here when I say, God damn it, will you just fucking listen to the point I'm trying to bring up? Jesus Christ!
He speaks for everybody. Dodge.
I do.
Shut
speak
the fuck
for
up.
Dodge, shut up. Back to the point I was bringing up. Throughout this time, the quarterback position is now a protected species compared to what it was like when these guys were. For example, between the years of 1950, and I break it down, 1958 to 1977, a defensive back could do whatever the hell he wanted to that wide receiver within 5 yards. All right? If you went across the middle and you're a wide receiver, back then they could decapitate you. All right? And nothing can happen to you. Sensing that people did not want to watch a ground attack, which almost killed the NFL, they decided to say you can't do it. And another rule, this is in 1978, another rule that happened in 1978, offensive linemen could actually put their hands out. Back then, offensive linemen had to block like they were freaking covering their titties. Yes, I said titties, right? But back now, they can get them out here and they can actually block somebody. Still, wide receivers could not go across the middle without getting their head torn off by, you loving this shit, by the likes of Jack Tatum, Mel Blount, Ronnie Lott.
Cliff Harris.
Cliff
Harris used to knock people out too.
Fuck people up. Yeah. Paul Krause, that's another oldie.
Right.
Kenny Houston. These are guys that, quarterback. And then here's the other thing: defensive linemen could really level a quarterback if they wanted to.
Oh, here's what they don't understand. You know, nowadays, if you slap them on the foot, it's personal foul. Back in those days, Terry Bradshaw or Kenny Stabler or Staubach could be looking at the ball as it's about to hit the receiver's hand and still get clotheslined. And it's not a flag.
What did Al Davis say? Al Davis said this: the quarterback within the first 5 plays must go down, and he must go down hard.
Hard.
All right, but since then, they had a few, then the quarterback could throw the ball away without it being intentional grounding. If he's outside the box. You only had one step to where you could hit the quarterback, or 1 or 2. Okay,
but you could still hit him.
All right. Then come around to 2005 when the Indianapolis Colts could not beat Bill Belichick and Ty Law. The Ty Law rule is in place. And that means they were going to call any type of freaking touching on the wide receiver. I don't care, Colts fans. You can get all bent out of shape and say, nah, that's not the truth. Yes, it is. The tie law rule and Bill Polian bitching and moaning because they couldn't get past the Patriots. And then since then, wide receivers could not be hit if they ran across the middle. You couldn't hit a defenseless receiver. All these rules are now in place. All right? That is why when I see you guys compare, hey, look, he's got more touchdowns, he's got more yards. Hey, man, of course he does, because that's where the NFL is gone. So if you want to actually have an argument where the greatest quarterback ever, you really have to put it in those classifications. For example, if Tom Brady is a protected species out there. I don't care how you guys bring it up. The guy was blocking last year. Nobody touched him. They were sidestepping him. Hey, man, I don't want to hit Tom Brady. Hey, Tom, how are you? Yeah, I know. See, Dodge, that's why I told you to shut the fuck up, man. I was getting to it. All right? But that's the point I'm trying to bring up. You cannot grade quarterbacks from the errors. You just can't do it. Do you know what was important? That's like running backs. You'll never see a running back get 2,000 yards again. You never will. Your take on that, brother.
Did you say who was the greatest quarterback?
When I say the greatest quarterback, I would put Tom Brady up there. I put Joe Montana up there. I put Roger Staubach up there.
So you say for eras.
I would say for eras.
In Tom's era, Tom's the greatest of his era.
Hell yeah.
If you go by from the standard that you just said, he can't be the greatest of all time.
No.
Because you do realize Montana and Marino would absolutely be doing PlayStation numbers nowadays.
Dan Marino. In fact, Joe Montana said that. He says, because they asked the Western Pennsylvania quarterbacks, right, what quarterback would you like to see play in this era? He says, I would like to see that guy playing. He's pointing to Dan Marino. Yeah. He said, Dan Marino would just and he would.
Yes, Dodge, it's speculation, dickhead. We know.
That's what
Tommy Boy rules, okay? Well, you close your ears now. Earmuffs, Dodge. Grown folks are talking.
All right, but yeah, they didn't say anything. They also brought up, I don't know why the hell the Seahawks didn't run the ball, but that's another every one of them brought that up. Why the hell didn't the Seahawks run the ball?
I agree with you completely. And I don't know about the 2,000 yards, but you're probably right, because there's just not going to be enough people. Right. That it's just not going to happen. I mean, you're probably right there, unless there becomes a bigger push for running backs. As far as quarterbacks go, I have always said this. I will repeat it. I will say it again. Dan Marino might have been the best pure passer of all time, but if I had to have a quarterback and I've got any help at all with him, I'm taking that kid from Stanford, number 7, John Elway. Yeah. Because John Elway carried horrible teams kicking and screaming in the Super Bowl.
Those three Denver teams in the 80s, they had no business being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just awful. But again, I have a little bias against Montana because he broke my heart when I was 11. But he obviously will, because he went to Kansas City and took him one game away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, and everybody says, well, he had Jerry Rice to throw to. Yeah, also, his first 2 Super Bowls, he threw to Freddie Solomon, Dwight Clark, Russ Memphis.
you got to understand, too. You got to take context when you're talking to people. Most people don't know anything if they didn't watch it if they didn't see it on ESPN.
And Brian Maxwell just said Dan Fouts could sling it. I actually put that on the group. I said, look, you got to go top 20. I said, then Dan Fouts had the
Oregon Duck.
He could fill the sky up, man.
But now you got to look at the systems. And imagine Elway. Elway didn't get to throw until he was already losing, because Dan Reeves believed in running the ball. Yeah. If John Elway has Eric Coryell's offense, or he goes to a place like Montana and gets Bill Walsh, I mean, just think about what Elway could have done. There's probably not a stronger arm in football than what that kid can do.
So if you're going to have the quarterback argument, yes, Warren Moon would be another one. If you're going to have the quarterback argument, make sure you put things in. That's all I'm saying. If I say it, I still think Tom Brady could play in any era. All right. But I'm also saying that if he was playing against some of those teams like the New York Giants or the Chicago Bears, they would try to kill him. they would try to kill him. And yes, John
Like
Cook
you said a while
doesn't
ago.
win without Terrell did. Yes, but that's what he needed.
Yeah, but it
That's
didn't
what
matter. He
needed.
had to have a little bit of help. I mean, Jesus Christ, John.
Didn't have
I mean,
anybody.
can he have one player, John? He finally got a coach, and he finally had one player.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck me.
In fact,
I mean,
that Shanahan offense is still doing pretty good in San
I mean,
Francisco.
they still do the same thing. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, can he have a little help? I mean, do you know who John Elway's only Pro Bowler was before he got that team? Anthony Miller. That was his only Pro Bowl wide receiver. 1991.
And they weren't that good in 91. They were.
Yeah, they were horrible.
All right, now guys, it's time for we got 15 minutes till kickoff. We're going to do the good, the bad, the ugly. I've got the good, Rob's got the bad, and we got the ugly. And the ugly kind of ties in with this. First, good, Lord Bill. That's what he's named, Lord Bill. He's not the GOAT, he's Lord Bill. All right. 300th win yesterday. Hey, first off, let's get something straight here. He started out as the Ravens coach. Don't say he started out as the Browns coach. All right. He worked for Art Modell, who had the Ravens. Can you imagine if he'd have stayed with the Ravens? Bill Belichick was let go by the Cleveland Browns when they went to Baltimore. All right. So I know there was a lot of, hey, he beat his only team yesterday, his first team. No, he didn't. His first team was the fucking Baltimore Ravens. Traded by the Jets to the Pats for a first rounder, and that was a win for the Patriots. The guy knows how to adjust. He pays attention to detail. He's the best coach I've ever seen. And I've seen some great coaches in my 53 years on this earth, and I don't think there's any better than Belichick. So Bill Belichick is a good for me.
Well, I mean, people don't realize the Cleveland Browns were well on their way to becoming a great team. The imprint was there. It just never happened because he left. Yeah. And Testament, I'm going through a cycle, cuz. Just calm yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway.
No shit.
All right. Bad. Oh, Lord. The player. The steaming pile of shit that is the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, yeah.
15 penalty. Dude, seriously. It's like Stephen A. Smith said today. I don't even think they know how to play football.
I don't think they do. That was a terrible hire for Freddie Kitchens. And, as much as I love the kid, I can't that pass yesterday, that underhanded. They needed to talk to Pat McAfee because he brings up the worst play in the NFL when they tried it on the Patriots. You don't do that shit you don't do that shit against the Patriots.
No.
You don't do that shit. Which goes back to the first part with Bill Belichick. You don't do that shit against Belichick.
And that's the thing. See, the player believes he's down at Owen Field playing against Kansas State. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Anyway, let's go back. All right. So my bad are the Cleveland Browns. So you're next good.
You know what? When I'm done with this, I'm gonna call you a dickhead all day.
That's fine. You
good.
Go right ahead.
Drew Brees.
It's a big one.
Drew Brees. 34 43, 373, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick in his return. Somebody brought it up in the group, and it was a good point. It wasn't the truth, but it was a good point when someone said he better come back because his backup was about to go 6-0, which I thought was pretty funny. And that's why I don't think Bridgewater's leaving because he's got a good setup. Breeze, maybe a swan song. I don't know. He still looked great yesterday. He's never had a powerful arm, but he's the smartest motherfucker on the field. So I would say Drew Brees is good. First game back after a broken thumb, and you put up those numbers in a victory, and you get the week off coming up. My second good, Drew Brees. Your second bad is?
The Buffalo Bills.
Exposed Buffalo Bills.
Exposed. It's beautiful when you play, teams where – and look, listen, the Buffalo Bills need to have a little bit of fun. They need to enjoy – the fan base is ridiculously – loyal. So, with the Buffalo Bills playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who granted, I picked to win because I believed that they would come back from that. And the thing that the Eagles have a problem with, the Buffalo Bills can't do, is throwing. They can't. The Bills can't throw. They have zero weapons. I mean, when Frank Gore is your number one option on offense, God bless Frank Gore, but I mean, dude, come on, the man's
Well,
like 60.
when Gore first came in the NFL, he had a bad shoulder, 2 torn ACLs, and you're thinking, okay,
And the lowest score ever on that stupid test you have to take.
Oh yeah,
I think he misspelled his last name on it.
Goor.
Yeah, yeah, he put 2 O's in there.
boy,
The other O's silent.
But his football IQ, how he waits,
Tough.
hits a
He's
hole.
so tough.
Yeah, I mean
His brain's got to be mush by now.
So, but yeah, I agree with you. Allen has to step up. He's in his 2nd year. It's not going to get
At home.
You know,
at home.
I know he's not going to get any. It's not going to get any better. Wait till he plays in December. Now, I mean, Wyoming's one thing. It's different playing up there when you get those squalls from freaking Lake Erie.
Yeah,
So
and he's going to, like I said, they're just going to have to throw the ball, man. They got to get better.
All right, my last good. John Bosa is going to be my last good. Former first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins, former Boston College Eagle. Played 3 years, got hurt. Decided to stay in Miami is what he decided to do. Had a couple of kids. So I can imagine John Bosa gets up, has his breakfast, and at 1 o'clock he's watching his son Joey play the Chicago Bears, and he keeps the Chargers alive. Chargers aren't dead in that division yet. All right. Here's his line. Joey Bosa's line.
Excuse me for a minute.
Go ahead.
That's the Cucks. How dare you? How dare you, as the original elder, break a rule set by you?
All right, the L.A. Cucks.
The Cucks.
2 sacks, 7 solo tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 quarterback hits. The L.A. Cucks until they go back to San Diego. The Chargers' slim playoff hopes are alive, and I'm going to tell you what, Joey Bosa is a beast. All right, so Dad John Bosa is very happy. Now turns it over to Fox, and he watches his youngest son, Nick, 3 sacks, 4 solo tackles, 4 combined, 3 quarterback hits, 1 interception for 46 yards, and he looked like a freaking he looked like a tight end making that catch. It was not a fluke. I'll tell you, the guy has just been – that's why the 49ers are 7-0 is because they're getting great play from guys like
they're getting great play from their defense. Their offense plays like absolute ass.
They're off. No, how can you say that? Those guys run. They will run you over. Garoppolo, when he's not banging porn stars, all he has to do is be efficient.
Don't get all offended, man. I'm just fucking with you, man. Calm down.
Hey, man.
Do you have a hat on, or is your head just that red?
No, nice and shaved.
I'm gonna need you to breathe, son. Need you to breathe.
So So John Bosa is my final good. Your final bad is, before you go into your bad, we might run over. I'm sorry, but if you really want to go watch the Dolphins and the Steelers, you may go.
Yeah, by all means, go.
But
Schittsburg versus the Dolphins. How about it?
Okay. Your final bad is?
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, what a disappointment, man.
I heard all year long, they were going to do this. When you ask them, how far is the Bears going? People had them in the NFC Championship game. Dude, they're not even going to make the playoffs.
No. They're going to finish last in that. They're going to finish last.
When everybody says, well, all you got to do is make Mitch Trubisky be Mitch. Well, that's a bad deal. But now yesterday, Mitch done what Mitch needed to do. Nagy showed no balls at all. You get down there, you've got 45 seconds and a timeout. You keep going. The Windy City is not a friendly place to kick a field goal.
And the thing is their best kicker in the past 20 years is out in San Francisco. Now we don't want to pay him that much. All right. So that falls on the Bears, and I agree with you. Well, when he took a knee to set up a 42-yarder?
Dude, I was like, Jesus. My son was sitting there watching with me, and he's like, dude, they're going to kick the field goal. I said, surely not. They got 45 seconds and a timeout. Dude, I mean, I understand that the possibility of things going wrong, but run up the middle. The Montgomery kid was killing the team.
No. And the thing is Trubisky actually in that last
played well. Made a great throw.
He was hitting the freaking big, he hit the big passes. He got out of one sack and actually got them in field goal range. So
because you know that the other team is going to they're playing back. They're not trying to let your wide receivers get behind you, so they're going to give you a 5 or 10 yard cushion. Every little bit counts, obviously.
No, I agree with you. He
Just,
did every.
just dumb.
He did.
So Nagy and the Chicago Bears are my third bad.
And they are in last place.
And will not make the playoffs
in
because
the
that
former
division is
black
top
and, well,
loaded.
still black and blue division.
Yeah.
But they are in the former NFC Central, now the NFC North, which sounds better.
The NFC North.
Now, usually I give the ugly, but this week, Rob's going to give the ugly. And the ugly is
the new pass interference challenge rule. Absolutely stupid. Nobody overturns it, so why have it? It's absolutely retarded. Because all you're doing now is you're giving a coach a reason to waste a timeout that's probably going to screw him later when you already know you're not going to change the call.
Yesterday, I watched the last part of that Houston Oakland game, and there was a couple of times that John Gruden had that flag out ready to throw.
Oh, oh Lord, yeah.
And he did the right thing and kept it because they weren't going to overturn it.
My man Mike Morris, good to see you, brother. Bye. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's good, Mike. What's up, man? And that's and I agree. All this, and you want to know something? That should be that pass interference. The call that started all this was the one in the NFC Championship game, and I can first off, New Orleans fans, I can see why you have a case of the ass. I do. All right, that one needs to come from the booth. If it's that obvious and they see it up there, somebody in New York needs to come in and say, all right, look at that again. But they are not going to call these guys for incidental conduct.
No, but I have seen several that if you're going to overturn it, those are blanket. I mean, those are great examples of you can say, well, look, it's obviously pass interference,
right? And again,
and they come back on the call stands.
Then what? I know.
Then why have the rule? Just why?
I haven't seen. Well, Mickey says there's one overturned in Denver for a game in Indy. But I haven't. I didn't watch that.
I hadn't seen one overturned yet.
I haven't seen one yet. And now, early in the season, coaches were out there throwing the flag. That's pass interference, and technically, it might have been. All right, but they're not going to call it. They are not going to call. The only thing they're going to call is if you lay your head into somebody before he catches it, a la New Orleans Saints, L.A. Rams. Not L.A. Cucks. That would be the team that plays on the other side. All right. But then again, as I was saying earlier, that ties into all these quarterback rule changes over the years and what a defensive back can do.
Jim, no, it's not a conspiracy, Jim. Only conspiracies are involved with the Raiders. It wasn't just yesterday. This is an NFL rule.
You just won't let that go, will you?
Oh no! I'm just being honest. I mean, there's no such conspiracy. There's only conspiracies against the Raiders.
Gibbons, I know you're watching somewhere. That Immaculate Conception was an illegal play back then.
That was bullshit. About it. That was bullshit.
The only reason they didn't do that, Dave, is because they couldn't get them security out of Three Rivers where the confluence were.
And you know the great play that they always show.
Talking about Gibbons
of Butch Johnson. Of Butch Johnson catching the ball and again in the Super Bowl against the Broncos, he just barely touches the ground, flips over, doesn't have the ball in his hand anymore. I mean, literally catches it, hits the ground, and flips. Mickey goes, well, today that would be an incomplete pass.
Back then,
all you had to do was break the plane.
And that's the thing with the Immaculate Reception.
Right.
Today that would be no problem. Right.
Well, how in the hell with 17 cameras did NFL Films miss that ball hitting the ground?
Oh, for the one on, I don't know. Well, they didn't have they had 4 cameras and Kurt Gowdy. That's all you needed back then. 4 cameras, true. Kurt Gowdy.
That is true.
But the thing that the big argument that the Raiders had about that play. Okay, first off, yes, kids, I watched it back then. I was 6.
Yeah.
I want to fucking hear it from you guys.
I didn't watch it.
Well, you were 2, so you might have watched it. You just probably don't remember seeing it. The thing, it used to be a rule, and if you look at Super Bowl 5, what would happen is this: if you're an offensive player and you touch the ball, and let's say you miss it, and it bounces off you, another offensive player couldn't touch it until a defensive player touched it, which actually happened in Super Bowl 5 when I think there was the only touchdown the Cowboys scored was a deflection off the defensive player, and somebody caught it from the Cowboys and went in for it. I think that was their only score. That's the only time I've ever seen it. But thankfully, they changed that rule. That would be a rule. That wouldn't even be a freaking question today. Franco Harris catching the ball.
Well,
But
that's like
now,
that's
fuck you,
but
kids.
if you're a Raiders fan, though, I mean, you got to see a hands game, which wouldn't even be close to being a legal play nowadays. And the Dave Casper holy roller. I mean, that's why you can't advance That's why you can't advance a fumble now. I mean, hell, Dave Casper kicked it 20 yards. He did this, and then he kicked it, and then he fell on it, and they're like,
he dribbled it forward.
yeah, oh yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, here, fall.
And the thing is Pete Banaszak's the one who grabbed it and then fumbled it forward. That was a beautiful play.
And somewhere Al Davis is like,
oh yeah, that was. I remember watching that game. That was something else. Oh, that's when football was. Oh, but that's the mystique about the NFL are games like that. The sea of hands, the immaculate reception, the holy roller, all involved
the Hail Mary. Yeah,
goes to the
and it goes to the post. And look, only one of them went bad for the Raiders. That's what I'm trying to figure. Only one of them, but yet it's a conspiracy. I mean, hell, outside of the immaculate reception. Yeah, but look, there's a gap from between the immaculate reception to the damn tuck rule.
Oh God! But that's what I really liked those Raiders because they would just.
Oh, I did too. I loved that. They were my AFC team because I could always count on them to beat the. They were the only team that could beat the damn Steelers back then.
Yeah, but God, the Raiders had to go through the Dolphins first, and then they had to go through the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Oh, that poor tortured team. That's one of those great teams that now.
Hey, that's why they took all them pills and drank all that alcohol.
And exactly. We were going to talk about weed today, but we'll save that for another time. The Monday Nighter. The Monday Nighter. Do we even want to cover that game? It starts in 1 minute. It will be the Miami Dolphins traveling into Pittsburgh. Hey, Pittsburgh is, even though they still got to go through the Ravens, considering the amount of bullshit that's happened to the Steelers, they're still alive. They're not playing terrible, but they're playing better than I thought. I know you hate the Steelers. I know all that. I get it. Steelers.
Oh no, I'll be honest with you about it. I mean, I'll be honest with you about them. I mean, they're Pittsburgh as far as I'm concerned. But I'll be honest with you about them. They suck. They're not making the playoffs.
No, they're not going to make the play, but they're playing better than I thought they would. I'll take them tonight.
They're playing the Dolphins.
I'll take them tonight because it is so clear.
I'm not real sure
what the Dolphins are doing.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. I wouldn't take Alabama and Clemson if they were playing in Miami. I mean, I joke about that, but Jimmy Upley, don't you get upset now? I'm sorry, bro. I'm just saying.
When they dealt Laramie Tunsil, remember
give him away.
Yeah, they gave him away for nothing. And they said, well, we're going to get some young players to build this team around. Hey, man, granted, he started out a little rough with that video. Remember the video he did?
Man, look, there's timing. It's everything.
Yeah, timing is everything. He probably gave some chick some dick and she turned him in. That's probably the whole thing.
Here we go.
He was still producing, and he was a solid left tackle.
He was producing something.
Yeah, well, besides that, all right, he was still putting up some good numbers. He was solid left tackle. The he's gonna be a stud for years. All right, he was actually that's someone you build it around. The moves the Dolphins have made, I don't get it, man. I just
they're doing what the guy that owned the Marlins did. They're selling out this year.
Miami is not that's just a terrible sports town. It's
pretty yeah.
It is it's a terrible pro sports town. The number one team.
It was a terrible college town too, because you gotta remember when they're not winning. I mean, you can almost show up and dress out.
You can get any seat you want at
any. Yeah, the old Orange Bowl used to be packed. That's because they were always good. When they wasn't good, motherfuckers quit going. Dude, Tennessee is horrible, and I mean to tell you, horrible. And it's wall to wall in that stadium, and it holds 107,000 people.
Well, then they asked Peyton Manning his first year in. I think he was in Miami playing the Dolphins.
Yeah.
It was 50,000 people, and someone said, "Man, have you ever seen a crowd like this?" And he goes, "Yeah, every Saturday in Tennessee."
Or a practice,
107,000 people.
And it's like Roy Williams. I love these college kids that played at big programs. Roy Williams is in the pros or he gets to college, they ask him about the OU Texas game. They said, Roy, what do you think about this game? He said, you know, you ever played in front of a crowd like this? He said, man, Odessa and Midland. Come on.
Yeah, I used to live. Hey, I lived in that area.
Yeah, boy.
That is a huge deal,
Yeah,
man.
huge.
Especially Midland Lee and Odessa. Oh man, that's your good stuff. All right, man. I'll take the Steelers. I even with the points, I would take.
I got
them
the Steelers. I got the Steelers too.
All right, guys. Hey,
I mean, I hate them. I ain't crazy though.
yeah, well, I'll take anybody but the Dolphins. Hey, couple things. If you haven't read Drew Rinsberg's Overreaction Monday, it is posted. And Bill Harp has Over the Hump on Wednesday. We might be talking about Game 7, or we might be talking about it.
No, the series is over. The series is over tonight.
Yeah, it's tomorrow, but yeah.
Tomorrow,
But yeah, and I'll tell you what.
Astros are awake now. They let the Nats have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. And by the way, kudos to those girls who were. I think the magazine was.
That's the way you make baseball great again. Unfortunately, nobody was watching.
Except for Garrett Cole.
But thank God for Twitter.
All right, guys, that's what we have upcoming this week. So remember, Wednesday's Over the Hump with Bill Harp. Me and Jason Aker will join him. Rob, have a good week. Hey, what's up, man?
I got something else I got to add. I was talking to him today, and I think this will be something that Bill and Jason will bring up. This whole propping up the SEC thing. I had this discussion with a young man that's a big Clemson fan. A&M asked them out, the most popular college team in the board. They started out, if you go look at last year's final poll, because we go through this, and I swear to God we should put out a CBT on it. If you go back and look at the top 10 from last year at the end of the year after the bowl games and everything, because I hate to explain college football to somebody as old as Paul because he's been watching it since probably because I mean, but he's the one that pitches such a fit about it. The thing about it is recruiting. The last thing these people seen was the bowl game. That's what they go off of. So the top 10 last year at the end, the final. It mirrored the preseason top 10 with the exception Kentucky dropped out, Michigan went from 17 to 7. So that's where your top 10 is. Alabama didn't play ass to mouth until middle of October. If ass to mouth set up anybody, it was Clemson because they played them in week 2. That's it. There is no SEC bias. We can go through this. Not in that area. Yeah, we can do this every year too. They take the bowl wins. They take recruiting. I know Paul doesn't like that either. All those things factor into the preseason poll.
I think his issue with recruiting is people wetting their pants and having threads and saying this. I get that.
Well, I mean, it's no different than him whining about ass to mouth losing, Auburn. I bet on Auburn. They're going to lose 5 games this year. He made 3 posts in 15 minutes. Nobody wants to read that shit either. All ass to mouth. Which, by the way, I'll give him credit. That is a great nickname. I don't know if he come up with it or if the other, or if it was it Mike Dodge. Props to you, Dodge. And I should have knew, asshole that you are.
I think that's I think it's also called Around the World in other circles, but that's for the non-sports talk group. All right.
Right.
Going around that would be.
I'm wrapping it up.
But to your point, all right, I don't. You know what? All these polls right now doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't.
I agree.
I mean, the AP brings theirs out because, one, it's the AP. It's got history, tradition, and all that. But it doesn't matter. It does. It has no bearing on what they're going to have.
And they removed them after the USC debacle a long time ago from the BCS. And again, I will tell you, BCS was better than what you got today if you just added some more teams to it.
It used to be.
Because at least with the BCS, it wasn't all on 12 guys in a smoky room.
And the thing is you had the AP, you had the UPI. No, everybody forgets about the UPI. That used to be a big one. And then you get things like ESPN comes up. They had their top 25. Remember CNN Sports, which used to be badass for us people that were living over in England and for those in Germany.
Van Earl
Wright, Nick Charles, which was actually better than ESPN, believe it or not. Their top 25 poll. And before you know it, USA Today had a top 25 poll, and it watered the whole system down. All right. So I don't take any. I said yesterday, hey, look, we should go to 18. No, what we should do, 5 conference winner and 1 wild card. That's it. Let the 4
I
other
agree.
ones play. The top 2, they can wait for the winner. All right, they can wait for the 2 winners from those first 2 games. But they won't do it though.
The thing about it is that you gotta understand. Clemson's not getting hurt. If OU hadn't have lost, it's still set.
OU.
I mean, but OU screwed it up. Now they've lost. And now you've got this situation where you're going to come down to who's the best one-loss team. They ain't propped up the SEC because if you look at the way the top 10 started, it's pretty much thinned itself out. And the SEC is going to eliminate each other. UGA plays Florida.
Let me put this out there. This is Monday mashup overtime. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we are. I mean, dude, it's Schittsburg in Miami. Come on.
Okay.
But I mean, you got this where it comes out like that. It's just there's just no way they can all win. Now John, my big Clemson buddy, my boy, he's living under the concept that everybody wins out. Outside there, Alabama or LSU, one of the two is going to have 1 loss, and then they win out the rest of their games. Alabama's got to play Auburn. UGA's got to play Florida and Auburn. So, I mean, it's going to eventually work itself out.
Yeah, and that's why I said by late November, all right?
But I do give him – I do believe that he has a legitimate concern of having 2 SEC teams in there. If Alabama wins out and LSU doesn't go to the SEC championship game and their only loss is a close win to or close loss to Alabama. Now, that's probably true because they're number 1. But, I mean, it's not like – I mean, other teams had to lose for that to happen.
What about a 1-loss Oregon?
Absolutely, stop.
No,
stop.
But
they tried to move. I mean, for crying out loud, they left from they jumped from 11-7, beating a 4-loss Husky team. Now, if an SEC team would have done that, the whole board would have lost their damn mind.
But that's still going to be an argument that's going to be brought up, whether you like it or not. You're still going to
have people I agree.
That are going to say, what about – because let's say it comes down to a 1-loss Oregon and a 1-loss Oklahoma, and Oklahoma gets in. You're going to have a bunch of people in Oregon going to sit there and say, hey, man, we wouldn't play an SEC team and lost at the last second to an Auburn team that might have 1 or 2 losses. How many does Auburn have right now, 2 or 1?
I am telling you no, they have 3 losses.
Who, Auburn?
I believe. Auburn got beat by Florida. They
got beat by LSU.
And then they got beat by Florida. And they got beat by LSU. And so they got 2 losses. But my thing is this: Oklahoma is going to. If it comes down to if Oklahoma has a shot, if it's Oklahoma, they're going because Oklahoma always gets the benefit of the doubt.
I said that the last couple of years. Hey, I
didn't scoff at it. Bill Harper and them told you it wasn't going to happen.
And Ben was the other one. I said, hey, a 1-loss Oklahoma is going. If they win the Big 12 and win their championship game, they are going to get in. Despite the fucking loss they have, it's like clockwork with them.
Well, but here's the thing, too. Other teams lost last year, too.
Yeah,
other teams lost last year to allow that to happen. And
as soon as it gets up to late November.
Right. And I am not a fan of the Big Ten at all, but I told all of y'all about 4 weeks ago, ain't nobody beating Ohio State.
No one's beating.
Nobody.
I don't think anybody's going to beat Ohio State. I don't.
Oh, until the playoff comes around, I'm telling you right now, Ohio State is absolutely loaded.
I don't see a weakness. I mean, LSU could be number 1 right now. Fine, they're number 1 in the AP poll, but just with I know people say, hey, if it was you, they beat this, and this, and I get that, I see that. But if I'm going to go by just from what I see on Saturdays, granted it's Penn State, it's whoever it is they're playing, they're just stomping a mud hole in their ass. Not even close.
Dude, they let Whiskey just play around for the first half, and then they just absolutely destroyed them. It's ridiculous. Now, if Harbaugh pulls off a miracle, because I didn't expect OU to lose to Kansas State either. That's the second time I've been able to bring that up.
Snyder.
Snyder. But anyway.
I thought Bill Snyder was on the sideline somewhere.
Ohio State, unless old khakis saves his job and pulls the upset of the decade, because that's exactly what it'll be if Michigan beats them.
Yeah, Rob Clem says Ohio hasn't faced SEC's defensive speed yet. I don't know. That's a lot of speed on Ohio State.
Well, but Ohio State's the one team, and we've said this for years. You can go back to Urban Meyer. When Urban Meyer got there, that's the one team outside of the SEC that has SEC speed.
Yeah,
every year.
He knew what to recruit.
Well, of course
that's why.
yeah.
And here's the thing: we're going with Urban Meyer on some of these programs. He brings up, hey, look, because he had to recruit for the SEC, and then he had to recruit for Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he says, look, we'll go with we'll go with the Vols. He says, I don't know what, and they just had 3 big signings. I know that. All right.
Yeah.
But he said, look, if you want to get some good talent, they have them in Memphis, they have them in Nashville. He goes, there are some schools in those areas that have top talent that I would love to go pull from.
Agreed.
And that he has pulled from. He goes, so don't tell me Tennessee can't do it. And Urban's he's going to USC. I think he is. He's going.
Well, it's been a few years since they've been on probation.
So yeah, I think but they'll be back again. All right, guys, this was overtime.
Overtime.
And
I like overtime, man. We should do overtime. Talk JV football every once in a while. I like it.
Yeah, let Jason.
I mean, dude. Yeah.
And I will say this for the over the hump, to answer Brian Maxwell's question, if you get with Bill, he'll probably bring you on for some college hoops. He probably will. So talk to Bill. If Bill says, no, I don't want to do it, then fine. That's on Bill. He might too. Because Bill's kind of surly. Don't get mad at me, Harp. I know who you are. Anyway, all right, guys. That's all we have for today. Good stuff, Rob. Always, man.
Always, brother. Love you. Y'all take care, man.
Take care now. Help.